What's up, guys? I'm really excited to do a review on the new film Lights Out, in theaters July 22nd. Supernatural horror film, my favorite. Directorial debut of David F. Sandberg. So the film is actually an expansion of his original short film Lights Out, which came out in 2013. Check it out on YouTube right now. It's only about 2.5 minutes. It co-starred the original actress from that short film, Lotta Lawson. She has kind of a small role. It's more like a cameo. I was lucky enough to actually see this film at a pre-screening in VidCon. It was really exciting. My first time ever going to a pre-screening, so that was really cool for me. It was in a giant ballroom, and maybe the only thing I'll say that was kind of frustrating about it was the fact that there was just one too many teenagers that were just constantly kind of screaming and just kind of a little too overly excited to be watching a horror movie for like the first time or something. You know, it is PG-13, what can I say? But you know, for the most part, if you can avoid seeing it where there's just constant, oh my god, what are they gonna do? Oh no, what's gonna happen? Oh no. You know, if that's not too obnoxious in your theater, well, I think you're in for a good time. With that said, the film is about a woman named Rebecca. She has a little brother who keeps being stalked by this mysterious presence that is only visible in the dark. Through a series of investigations, she discovers that it has a link to something in her past, and she's trying to see if that's really the case here. It references a spirit that actually haunted her mother back when her mother was young. She had a childhood friend by the name of Diana. And now, the thing here is Diana loved the dark. That's kind of a key factor why she possibly does these things in the dark. Now, it's actually later discovered that Diana faced a horrible event that is supposedly what's causing her to do these evil things to people. That's all I'll actually say as far as the synopsis goes. I don't want to give too much away. Now, what makes this film really work is that it just genuinely plays on its concept very, very well. The whole "are you afraid of the dark" sort of theme here is just completely, fully fleshed out. They just continue to sort of capitalize on that aspect as its primary basis and as your primary reason to really engage with it. And they do it very effectively with jump scares that really get you over and over again. Like, these are the type of jump scares where even when you know to expect a scare, you like can see it coming. You're like, that's gonna be a thing right there, and oh god, you know, it's like you expect it to happen and it still gets you, and that's just kind of frustrating, but very effective. Most of the time, I'm not a big fan of just movies that just continually try to just give you these jump scare after jump scare after jump scare, but when you can do it effectively, that's what really shines. Some directors really have that effect. They know how to combine sort of a good combination of jump scares with good storytelling and solid characters to root for. Coincidentally, James Wan, the director of the Conjuring films and Insidious, he was actually involved as the producer for the film. If you're familiar with his films, you know that there's a lot of pretty interesting scare tactics imposed. He's one of those directors, I would argue, that does jump scares very well. But where this film really succeeds is the characters, most of the time, they make good decisions. And you know what I'm talking about. When you're watching a horror movie, most of the time you're just like, this person is the dumbest, why are they, what is going on? Yeah, I'm looking at you, The Purge. We're just targeting the first one right now. The rest are okay. This is even one of those movies where if you're lucky enough to have the right audience, where people are kind of really engaged with the film itself, you might get a lot of really exciting response in your theater. There might even be some moments where you're compelled to cheer out loud. The actors in this film really do quite a good job. Most of them are not that well known, and it's a pretty small cast overall. However, I would say the main four that you'll notice in the film, whether it's the main character Rebecca, her little brother Martin, and her mom, and then her boyfriend, they all have a really good role. There's just not a whole lot of good mainstream horror movies these days that really emphasize these things that we want in a good film. When you can find actors and actresses and directors and producers and all sorts of people that really come together and want to produce a good quality horror film, that's something to look forward to. If you really look at the genre as a whole, there isn't the biggest amount of successful films compared to many other genres and films out there that you can go and see. While it doesn't have the best reputation of being a genre that there are good films out there, it would be really nice to change that, and I think this is a good step in that direction. The other thing about this film is it's very fun. It's very campy. It's one of those that you can kind of just constantly be engaged with throughout the whole film if it's something you're into. And not only that, it's great to have characters that you can actually root for instead of like, oh my god, I can't stand watching this person on the screen another second. Take it from me, I'm a big horror fan. I emphasize quality film over not so great film, and this is one of those movies that I'm definitely planning to see again. I'm going with my crew of guys who are all big horror movie buffs just like me. I'm seeing it probably very soon after I finish this video. And I will say hopefully with a little bit less obnoxious crowd, seeing as it'll be in a nice, more compact movie theater than about 1,000 people in a big ballroom. Well, that was still great, and there was lots of good, you know, sound. Like the sound quality was top notch. You could hear a pin drop in the movie and it felt like it was right next to me, next to my chair falling out. However, I can do without a little bit less full build-up screaming from my fellow moviegoers of the younger age. If you're looking for some movies that are similar to this, here are a few that I really like. Check out the Conjuring films, especially if you're a fan of a guy like James Wan. He is probably one of the best directors of horror right now that you can almost always look forward to seeing one of his movies. Then there's The Witch, a really interesting new film that came out earlier this year. I would see that one with subtitles at home. And lastly, I would say a film that came out last year, another really interesting film, is It Follows. This film was very indie and fun and had this 70s feel with great music. You gotta check it out if you're interested. So again, Lights Out, a very interesting, fun horror film for people that are new to horror, or maybe they feel like they're not a big fan of the genre and they just want to go see a fun movie with their friends and maybe get scared. And then for people like me who consider themselves pretty big horror buffs, it's a very fun movie. I would definitely go and check it out with as many people as you can. You gotta see this movie in theaters with a packed crowd where the silent moments are completely silent and the laugh out loud or the scary or the crazy moments are just very much more impacted. And that's why this film is a diligent pick. I just want to thank everyone who helped me get this YouTube channel started and inspired me to get here at this point. You know who you are, you've been there with me, you've been encouraging me all along the way, and I just want to thank you very much. I'm looking forward to really making this a fun hobby, try to produce more videos weekly and see what I can put together for you guys. If you're interested in following me on social media, I include links below to my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. And if you think you might want to continue watching this channel, which I really hope you do, you can subscribe for some more weekly content. Not only that, but I'm really interested to see what you guys think of the video, so I'd love to hear what your comments are, especially if you have your own films that you'd like to recommend. It doesn't have to be horror. I'm a big fan of all types of movies and all types of entertainment. This channel will feature games, books, music, and anime reviews at certain points as well. So look forward to other entertainment sources if you're interested in keeping up with me. And that's about it. I will see you guys next time.